Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chamgery, then you're with a scrape, you're in glad company. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chamgery, the way of your life isn't so free. Wait a minute, I'm actually singing Chim Chimney from Mary Poppins, actually, and also, speaking of Mary Poppins, and today, guys, I am going to be doing my movie review on Saving Mr. Banks. So before I go, right over here, I'm going to say this. Step in time, step in time, step in time, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. This step in time. Cue the intro. Let's go fly a kite up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite and send it soaring up to the atmosphere, up where the air is clear. Let's go fly a kite. Yeah, that's right. That's my on skit I did. That's from the ending song, Let's Go Fly a Kite from Mary Poppins. So there it goes. So today I am going to be reviewing this movie right now today. So without further ado, let's start this review right now, actually. Hey guys, this is Evan's Disney's Film Corner 2023 here, and today, guess what, guys? And today I am going to be doing my movie review on Saving Mr. Banks. Came in the year of 2013. So guys, I am going to read this plot on the internet. So basically what the plot's about, spend on by a premise he made to his daughters, Walt Disney embarks on what would become a 20-year quest to adapt the movie rights to Mary Poppins. The author, P.L. Travers, proves to be upcoming Karenin, which, so I mispronounced that name, but that's okay, who has no introduction of letting her beloved characters be midget in a Hollywood machine. However, when her books stopped selling, she finds herself, she needed it of money. Travers reducibly, which agrees to consider Disney's permission. So that's basically what the plot's about this movie. So I did remember that this movie actually did came out on the BFI London Film Festival on October 20th of 2013, and it did get released in the UK on November 29th of 2013, and it did get released in the United States on December 13th of 2013, until it got released fully until it got a wide release on December 20th. And it did get released in Australia on January 9th of 2014 as well. And I know this movie is actually, I'm going to look it up right now, actually. I know this movie is actually 2 hours and 5 minutes, actually, which is, and also I know this movie has a budget of $35 million, actually, and also I did remember that this movie actually did came out in 2013 as well. And also, and this movie also stars Emma Thompson, Tom Hanks, Colin Farrell, Brittany Winford, Jason Renson, who wasn't recently, who played spots in, Across the Spider-Verse, actually. So, yeah. And also, Paul Giamatti, actually, he was also in this movie as well. Also, yeah. So, yeah, guys. So, what do I think of this movie? I have to say, this is definitely one of my favorite movies of 2013. Alongside, besides Frozen, and especially, yeah, it's Frozen, and also, yeah, and also, I just love this film as well. I mean, this is definitely a fantastic, Disney movie as well. Yeah, definitely a fantastic, um, Disney movie, Disney live action film. I mean, yeah. Even though this movie is actually based on a true story about how Walt Disney getting the film rights to adapt Mary Poppins into a movie, actually, and also, yeah. And I know this movie is actually directed by John Lee Hickok. I mean Han Hook, which honestly I thought he did fantastic directing this movie as well. So yeah. And now let's talk about the cast of this movie, which honestly I definitely thought that Emma Thompson as P.L. Travers was fantastic in this movie. Like, she was absolutely phenomenal in this movie as P.L. Travers. And also, I think she's very heartfelt in her role as well. And I definitely think Emma Thompson is perfect to play P.L. Travers as well. I think she does. I think Emma Thompson definitely did a fantastic job playing P.L. Travers. I mean, yeah, this is undeniably my favorite role of Emma Thompson. Like, honestly, yeah, my favorite role Emma Thompson movie is definitely Saving Mr. Banks, and also my favorite role of Emma Thompson is definitely her as P.L. Travers in Saving Mr. Banks, which honestly I think she's absolutely fantastic in that movie. So yeah, and also Tom Hanks as Walt Disney, which honestly I thought he did fantastic voice. I thought he did fantastic playing that character, playing Walt Disney. I mean, yeah, I mean, even though, yeah, he did play Mr. Rogers in It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, which I also think he was also fantastic in that movie as well. But honestly, I definitely think having Tom Hanks to play Walt Disney is perfect casting. Like, I definitely think Tom Hanks is perfect to play Walt Disney. I mean, yeah, he definitely does look like Walt Disney as well. Like, Tom Hanks definitely does look like Walt Disney. I mean, yeah, he definitely does fit the part of Walt Disney. I mean, he is definitely fantastic as Walt Disney, and also, yeah. And I definitely thought the ending of the movie was also very emotional as well, and also, yeah. And also, yeah. And even the rest of the cast of this movie is fantastic. I mean, yeah, it's absolutely, the cast of this movie were absolutely phenomenal. They were definitely fantastic. I mean, yeah. And even Colin Farrell as Travers Robert Gareth, which is Helen's father, on the warmth of Mr. Banks's character is based, which honestly I thought he was fantastic in this movie as well. And as along with Worth Wilson, who also played Margaret Chit Gareth, which is Helen's mother. And also I definitely thought Jason Schwartzman as Richard M. Sherman, which is also one of the Sherman brothers, who actually played one of the Sherman brothers, which was also fantastic in this movie as well. And also, yeah. And also, yeah. Yeah, I thought he was fantastic in this movie as well. And even the rest of the cast of this movie is definitely fantastic. So, yeah. And now, let's talk about the music and the score of this movie, which is actually composed by the one and only Thomas Newman, which I thought his score of this movie is definitely fantastic. I mean, it still holds up 10 years later. I mean, it still is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, yeah. Yeah, he did compose on Pixar movies as well. Like, he composed Finding Nemo. He composed WALL-E. He composed the sequel to Finding Nemo, Finding Dory, and he just recently composed Elemental, which I thought his score of this movie was fantastic and absolutely beautiful at the exact same time. I mean, yeah, that his score in Elemental is definitely fantastic. But now back on to this movie, Saving Mr. Banks, which honestly, I thought Thomas Newman's score of this movie is definitely fantastic. I mean, yeah, it's definitely fantastic. I mean, it's very beautiful and very emotional at the exact same time. And also, yeah, it's definitely fantastic. And also, yeah, and also, and also I forgot to mention that the cinematography of this movie is also fantastic. And also, yeah, Jason Schwartzman also did the cinematography. He didn't just play one of the Sherman brothers of this movie, but he also did the cinematography of this movie. But the cinematography of this movie is definitely fantastic. It's phenomenal, actually. So yeah, and also I know that yeah, even though it received positive reviews for its acting as in screenplay and music score, and especially Thompson's performance, which also, yeah, even though it did receive an Academy Award for Best Score, actually, by Thomas Newman, which I think it definitely did deserve. So yeah, and also, yeah, and also which, speaking of which, I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, and even though the filming commenced in the year September before wrapping in September of 2012 before wrapping production in November of 2012, and also, yeah, and the film was mostly shot entirely in Southern California. So yeah, I meant to say Southern California, actually. So yeah, and primarily at the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, where the majority of the film's narrative takes place. So yeah, guys. So now let's talk about the production design of this movie, which honestly, it still holds up to this day. It still looks absolutely phenomenal. It still is fantastic. I mean, I love the look of this movie. Like, it definitely does feel like the 50s and 60s, which honestly it's fantastic and it's absolutely phenomenal. And also, yeah, it's definitely fantastic. I mean, the sets of this movie are definitely absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, and also, yeah, the sets of this movie, Saving Mr. Banks, is definitely fantastic. So yeah, so overall, guys, I have nothing else to say about this movie. So yeah, guys, so if you haven't seen Saving Mr. Banks, where have you been? I recommend it. It is streaming on Disney Plus. So yeah, guys. So yeah, guys. So yeah. Yeah, and also I have nothing else to say. So yeah, about this amazing, brilliant masterpiece. So yeah, guys. So I am going to give Saving Mr. Banks a 10 out of 10 spectacular. So yeah, guys, what do you think of my movie review on Saving Mr. Banks? So yeah, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe my channel, and make sure to like this video. So yeah, so stay tuned for my short review, aka my last review of August of 2023 with Get a Horse, which will be on Tuesday, August 29th of this year. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, and for next Friday, for my first review of September of 2023, I am going to be reviewing leading up to Wish, which comes out in November of this year in 2023 with Sleeping Beauty, which that took also inspiration from Sleeping Beauty as well with its art style. So yeah, which I am going to be reviewing that movie on September 1st. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, guys. So I make this wish, doing something more for us than this. Oh, more than this, oh. Who's your favorite fearless hero? Who's your favorite fearless hero? We don't talk about Bruno, no. We don't talk about Bruno, I see the line where the sky meets the sea. It calls me, and no one knows before it goes. If the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know how far I'll go. Oh, remember me, though I have to say goodbye and bye.